This is a demo of the CMS Tools plugin from HighStrap. You can see a few examples of the functionality on this page real quick. So we have some collapsible content and also an accordion. You'll notice the accordion, you can only have one open at a time. It automatically collapses the inactive ones, but then the collapse items, you can have as many open as you want. And actually for the accordion, as long as they are adjacent to each other in the admin, they will have that behavior. Before we look at the admin, also, this is a sidebar token, or this uses the load token functionality. It's dynamically loading from another page of my site. It's actually loading from this page. And that can make managing content a little easier if you don't want to use the syndicated content control. And then one more item. Very similarly, I can load a modal window, and that has it's loading that same content dynamically, and it doesn't load until the user clicks the link there. And quick look at the admin. You can see my collapse content is there, and the only thing you don't need to get into the HTML too much, just the CSS wrapper class name just needs CG collapse, and then pretty much any kind of content will have that collapse functionality. And then to make a new one, I could just copy, paste. So now I've got 3 of them here. And then if I wanted one of them to be open by default, I can just add an additional class, open. Then if I view that, that first one is open now. And actually, one thing, if you're using microsites and you end up with a URL, sometimes from the admin, we'll end up with this kind of weird microsite group URL. The dynamically loading content will not work. So this modal, nothing will actually load. So what you need to do is go back to the page, get the proper URL, and then you'll see that dynamic content starts loading again. And in this site, so let's see, in site setup, you're going to want the CMS tools to load bottom of the content in this area here. So I already have a page code set up for script BC, that stands for below content. So if I go to my navigation, BC, so this is where I've added my hooks, my CMS tools, whatever I want to load below the content. And then just looking at this, the code you get, there's actually just a few pieces. One is that modal window. We have to add some HTML, so you can customize your modal window HTML. But the defaults that I give you work pretty good. And then the only other 2 things is the JavaScript and then the CSS. And then altogether, this is just in an HTML content control. This was the only way I was able to get it to keep all the elements together, so it makes installation nice and easy.